this is weird. Not having you by my side.
Yes.
How was the renovation, though?
Very good. So as you know, I'm not going to be on camera today because I'm going through a renovation. We're moving our offices from upstairs all the way to downstairs. So there's a lot going on.
And you're getting an awesome new studio, which is exciting.
Yep, we're getting a new office space. Yeah, so very exciting. But today is going to be the only day that I'm not with you guys. And then next Monday, I should be ready to go in a new office space.
Excellent. Do you know what we're talking about today?
Pantone for spring summer already dropped their 2021 colors. So of course we have to dive into them, seasonalize them, make sure we're prepared for what's coming color-wise.
And how do they choose them? All sorts of good stuff.
So, I mean, we already kind of gave it all away and tossed up the colors that you're going to be seeing for spring summer 2021 on screen. And they are very springy, bright.
Yeah. If I could give you guys a little bit of history of Pantone Colors and how they choose. There used to be so many fewer. There were less colors year by year by year. But Pantone has added colors, and the way that they make these selections, and I don't even know if they're selections, they're observations. This is the New York palette. They have a London palette as well. And what they do is they look at what designers are showing on the runways with their clothing for a particular season, in this case, spring, summer 21. And then they will say, oh, I saw a lot of this. And so we're going to put this color in the Pantone color palette. And this palette is shared by home decor, fashion. And so you may look at some of these and say, really? And that is because this is kind of a universal palette. And they also give you some comments that are very esoteric that I tend to ignore, which is like, 2021 is going to need to be uplifting and blah, 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 blah. I just look at the color, right? So this is their full palette, but they also announce at this time of year their color of the year, or in this case, colors of the year. Last year it was one color. I think the year before it was two. And there's a pair of color that they're announcing as the IT colors for the upcoming year. Do we have a slide of that?
Yes, we have the IT colors. Yeah, and Sarah, I hate to do this.
Sarah's laughing because I loathe this. Oh my goodness. Really? A year? Yeah. This is the way 2020 felt to me. Now, that I don't want to get everybody all excited because I do love gray, but okay, gray is gray. It's a great neutral, but is it color of the year material? I don't think so. That's just my opinion. And then this yellow, it's called Illuminating. What? Sarah, what do you think of this yellow? Because I think you have a better opinion.
Yeah, I don't hate yellow as much as you do. And there's a yellow for everyone out there. And I know that you just do not like the color, though. But I don't think it's that bad. I think there are versions of yellows that look great on all of us. And I don't mind yellow as a color as much as you despise it as a color. So
let me ask you a question, Sarah. Is there a person that this color looks good on?
I mean, spring is going to be your best bet, but it's still it doesn't have enough gold in there to really bring out a spring. If I were, looking at a spring and wanted them to be in a yellow, I'd put a little bit more gold into it. And if this kind of has it's in between almost like a summer and a springy, because it has a bit pastel yellow to it. And
but it's not pastel enough.
Yeah, it's not pastel enough at all.
My fundamental problem with this yellow is that skin, all ranges of skin, from the palest skin to the deepest, darkest ebony, it all is based on the color brown or tan or, some version therein. And I just don't love yellow with brown, which is why they're showing it here with gray, because yellow and brown or tan, it's just not. It's just not. So again, my opinion, and I'm very excited to hear what you guys think about this. As the colors for the year, I give it an F. But I did see, I was looking at some color issues of home decor magazines, and apparently the home decor designers are embracing this more so than people in fashion. I've had a tough time seeing this. I did, however, see a really cute iPhone cover in this yellow. If you want to embrace the colors of the year, and if you are just loving this color, I would put it on my iPhone and not my body.
Accessorize with it.
But there are some colors that they observed. I was going to show you the London palette, but I thought it might get a little complicated. I think I like the London palette a little bit better than again, personal preference, a little bit more than I like the New York palette. And as I break these out by season, you will see that for those of us summers out there in the world, not my favorite palette. There's some other really cool palettes, though. So having said that, we could move on to one of the seasons.
All right. Well, since you're talking about summer, we might as well just bring up that summer. And yeah, the summer palette it's not my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, it's uninspired. It absolutely, in my opinion, is uninspired.
Mm-hmm. And I think some of these are even pushing it a little, like that purple. I
think it's called Orchid.
Amethyst Orchid.
Amethyst Orchid. I popped it in there because no other season could wear it. And I kind of thought maybe I could squeak by with this. It might be a little too extreme on me. But it's a tertiary purple. So purple, as we know, is a secondary color. It falls right between red and blue. But there's a tertiary position for some purples that falls between purple and red, which moves it over into that violet orchid range. So it's a tertiary purple. Now, the reason that makes it not my best season is because as it moves toward red, it gets warmer and warmer. But I thought if I had to show you this baby blue and the gray, which is the color of the year, and the buff, you guys would like beat me or something because it's so uninspired. Now, we're going to release the Color Me Beautiful colors of the year very soon, but I felt like it would be nice to have a background in what Pantone is doing. So for you guys, for summers, I apologize.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best palette, and hopefully when you said that you don't see as much fashion designers following these colors, I really hope that they're not going to. I hope they're going to put out some softer, more palatable colors for spring or summers out there.
And something that's just a little more inspired. I mean, this blue, no matter what they name it, and some of the names are really funny. I forgot. Cerulean. Okay, if I were to throw out to you guys, it's a cerulean blue, what would you think of? Certainly not this. This is like a pale, periwinkly kind of, it's a baby blue. It's a boy's baby blue for having a baby. I certainly would not call it cerulean because that has implications of the sea and richness and vibrancy. And when you look at a tube of paint, cerulean blue is not this color. So Pantone, I give you a D- on the colors that summers can wear.
Yeah, and while we're talking about color analyzing and what's your season, I just want to always throw in here, if you don't know your season, then go ahead, go to colormebeautiful.com and take the free color quiz in the top right, and then that will lead you to your season. And then summers out there, we know you have softer hair without any red or gold in it. And
lighter, softer. And please, don't feel like you have to follow these colors. Get yourself a color fan. The color fan is full of 48 beautiful summer colors that just look wonderful.
And that will give you the perfect purple, the perfect blue for you, the perfect gray.
And then not drab. I mean, the thing is, in this world of these Pantone colors, our palette is awful.
It's not opinionated
about color.
All right, let's move on to the next season, which happened. I'm going to grab another cool season since we're talking about all these cool colors. And I think the winter is a little bit better. It gets a little bit better as we go. I will say that.
It's a little better. Yeah. Remember, winter, if you're a winter, take the color quiz if you don't know. But if you are a winter, your colors are jewel tone. They're vibrant. This is another one that I didn't understand the name of. Sarah, I'm having a hard time remembering. Oh, what's the mint?
Oh, yeah.
In my mind's eye, mint, this is not it. It's not this warm. Mint is a little bit cooler. And they said, when they called it mint, that you needed a refreshing color. I don't know. Doesn't do it. The blue, there was a color that was in everybody's palette last year, classic blue. This blue is just a shade or two off from that. Believe it or not, it has just a hint more warmth. And yeah, I see you guys wearing it. It's not, I would choose the sapphire, but okay. You can get away with this. Mm-hmm. Now, the raspberry sorbet is beautiful for you. Embrace it, love it, stock up on it because it's a fantastic color for you. The other two are just so.
Yeah, and then
warm in the green and a little too lacking oomph in the blue.
Yeah, but I think this is it kind of gives you that overall winter palette. So it kind of shows what a winter palette looks like. It has those very emerald jewel tones, strong, rich.
Yeah, well, if I were creating a green for you guys, which is my deal, it's what I do. I would take it away. Again, it's almost a tertiary green. Remember, green is a secondary color created by mixing blue and yellow. So green falls in the middle. If you want a cooler green, you move more toward the blue. If you want a warmer green, you move more toward the yellow. This is a little too tertiary, too much toward the yellow, in my opinion, for a winter. But the reason you can wear it is because it's vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had a choice, I would move around the color wheel a little more toward a cooler green. But there it is. It's what we got to work with.
Now, I just want to make sure we're getting better as we go along. The summer was just the worst palette out of all of them. I'm so sorry to all the summers.
It's bad. Don't say it's bad.
I feel so sorry for summers out there.
We are preparing, and we will have this very soon, colors of the year for you guys. They're coloring beautiful colors of the year, and I think you will be much happier with in terms of flattering yourself with what we give you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then moving on, we're going to go warmer now. And we're going to go to autumn. Because I think these autumn colors together look really good.
Sarah loves this palette. I can't imagine why.
I honestly think those colors together just look good. All of them look really, really good together as just a color palette. So, I mean, we all know the pumpkin up top, that bright coral. I wouldn't say bright. It's like a salmon, almost like a salmon-y.
Yeah, it's salmon. And the name of it, I forget what they're calling it, but they're calling it a coral. And then, of course, the rust to the left, they call that rust. But there's a color that I really love for you, Sarah. It's called willow. And would you read the description that Pantone put on the willow?
It's a canopy of green that reveals and conceals.
Okay. Let's unpack that for a minute.
And we're talking about the bottom right color, just so you guys know.
The bottom right color, willow. A canopy of green that both reveals and conceals. Okay, it's concealing anything in that color that makes it a green.
Right.
And it is revealing to me a bronze, or, like a kind of a bronzy gold. It is what it is. There you have it.
Yeah, it's
willow.
It's a slightly off, I guess we could say. But I think these colors are awesome. I think they look great together.
They are beautiful. Yeah. They're beautiful for autumns. But if you guys, and I mean, you guys at home, you've been with me a long time now. If you ever hear me say something reveals and conceals, smack me. Because what does that mean in terms of a color?
I don't think anyone knows, to be honest, because that's, I mean, calling it a green.
That reveals and conceals.
Yeah.
Okay. Hide and seek with my green because it's not there.
Right. Doesn't make much sense, but I do love, I wish they would have just named it something differently.
And what willow ever looked like this? If I had a willow that was this color, I would call the arborist and have him treat my tree for a fungus. This is just, I'm sorry. No, but I love the color.
Yeah, I think the palette looks so good. And honestly, decor wise, I think this would be a great palette in a room. I love all of these. They're so calming and I like it.
I think the melon color, or they're calling it desert mist. And I'm sorry, I stick my face right up in the camera to read these things, but I have to because they're really tiny. But they call it desert mist. Again, I don't know why. Maybe the sunset in a desert.
Yeah.
With the mist in front of it.
Still not as bad as Willow, though.
I don't know. But anyway, all you autumns out there, you did okay.
Mm-hmm.
These are pretty. These are very pretty.
Yeah. And then lastly is Springs, which made out like a bandit this year.
Yeah, you got every color. But that doesn't mean that you got lucky. Boom. Okay, Springs. What does this remind me of?
Oh, we just kind of have to look and nod and smile, and yeah, you got a lot of choices going on though, and a lot came from that autumn palette.
Yeah, so we did move the warmth factor in these colors. That moved some things over there because without those pretty colors from the autumn palette, it looks like a pack of fruit stripe gum. Sorry, but it's just.
Yeah, it's a tough year for everyone. I will say that. Yeah. Hopefully, it gets better.
Hey, you guys speak up. Tell us what you're thinking as you see these. The one thing, this one has a funny name. The green in the center of the spring palette, green ash.
Okay.
All right. So I get the green.
Yeah.
Ash implies a dusty or a muted color, maybe. Or it could be referencing a tree, and I've never seen a tree this color. So again, the name's just throwing me off everywhere. That tertiary purple, a little on the weird side. I think the coral color would be a nice addition to everybody's wardrobe this year.
Yeah.
Springs out there, grab that coral color because that's going to look amazing on you. And the marigold. That bright orange right there, that's going to be another really great color. It's going to make your skin tone look amazing. Oh, beautiful.
Agreed. The only thing I would say is there are a few here that you may want to take a pass on.
It's so difficult to try to put these into a season sometimes. It really is.
Well, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes you can look at colors and they're flattering. This year, if you want to put up the whole palette, the complete palette, I wonder if they gave any thought to the fact that human beings are wearing these things. That we're people and we have skin and certain colors.
Hopefully what you said was correct about fashion designers were not really following this trend because I haven't really loved it. And honestly, the color of the year, the last year, the classic blue, I didn't see a ton of it out there. To be honest, I didn't see an overwhelming amount.
I will tell you, it used to be, back in the day, the fashion designers would bring things out on runway. Remember that line in The Devil Wears Prada where she's talking to Anne Hathaway about the color of her sweater? And she calls it cerulean. Hello, that up there is not cerulean. I just want to tell you that The Devil Wears Prada does not see that as cerulean, nor do I. Just the thing. But in the movie, she says, what we do here in this room, meaning Vogue, I guess, or fashion designers, will determine the colors that you see later on in off-the-rack clothing. Well, what I'm seeing in terms of determining color, now has to do with big data and not so much what a few people may see on a runway. And by big data, I mean they look at what sells, what's sold in the past. They make adjustments on big data. And then in new seasons, they adjust that so that things are new, but they keep in mind the things that people embrace. For example, there was a time when the hottest selling trend were muted colors or more sophisticated colors. It went from really bold, vibrant colors that you would see, and then everything became kind of a more sophisticated, to have a more sophisticated edge. That never really went away because people bought it like crazy and still buy it. So I believe people buy clothing because it flatters them. So if big data is driving what the designers do in upcoming seasons, then we're going to see flattering colors to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
Not these colors, but we're going to see flattering colors because now they're looking at the choices we're making, which I think is a good thing.
Now, I just happened to be reading some of these definitions while you were talking. And on the bottom left, if you read Inkwell,
so it's black.
A deep and intense blackened blue, actually.
It's black.
I some of these are actually pretty funny to read. And
read them.
One of the green ash one talked about it was a green that cools and soothes, which is the complete opposite of what I think about when I think of ash.
Didn't they comment that it was menthol? Something about menthol?
Oh yeah. A mentholated green that cools and soothes.
Okay, wait. A mentholated green that soothes and cools. Okay. Cough syrup, color for a cough syrup. I'm on. I get it. Mentholated green that soothes and cools. But we all know that if you want a green that soothes and cools, you edge it toward blue and you take out some of the intensity. Mm-hmm. That's soothing. That's cooling. Because cooling means adding blue. So, I don't know.
And the yellow, you'll get a kick out of this just because I know you really don't like the color yellow. It's called Illuminating, and it says friendly and joyful.
Yippee!
It's like the complete opposite of what you feel when you see a yellow, which is really...
Like, I look at these and I imagine clothes because that's what this is about. And I'm looking at that green sweater and I'm thinking, would I see an upscale, beautiful sweater in that color green? And what would it look like, in a store? I don't see it. I just don't.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to imagine, I guess.
And it's also moving into spring and summer. So, okay, I'll move the sweater comment. I'll set that aside. Think about these clothes in terms of summer wear. Tank tops, maybe. You can get away with a really bold, out there tank top color as long as you pair it with a pair of jeans, maybe a sweater, cardigan, whatever, jean jacket. You can go bold there. But imagine like a diaphanous blouse in that yellow.
Yeah, we are not having the best time with these colors. I have to say, these. I hope spring and summer 2021 Pantone just flies by and we just get to the fall. And you guys enjoyed our Pantone. I mean, I don't know how much you can enjoy this. It was painful. It was definitely.
It's informative. You need to know. This is what they're projecting. Now, in a year, might be fun to go back and see what actually happened. You know, because this isn't happening for me.
Yeah, I will not be choosing a majority of these colors.
But I bet you rush out and get Desert Mist and Willow.
That is true. And that burnt coral. I really am enjoying that burnt coral as well. So I don't know, maybe I'll pick up one or two things, All right, now Monday, I hope to have a whole new setup. So you might see me in a new place. I mean, hopefully, I guess I should say. And then we're excited to see you guys Monday. And like always, if you guys have any questions or comments, just go ahead, write them down below, and we'll be in the comment section right after we hop off.
And if you guys want to add some comments along with me and trash the yellow, I will. I'll be fine with that.
Exactly. It will be much appreciated. All right. See you guys later.